Alright guys, how's it going? E3 is kind of winding down, but the news is still on fire. And some interesting tidbits have come out of Tokyo from the Wall Street Journal in Tokyo. They've kind of stealthily confirmed something about an upcoming Nintendo Switch Mini or Nintendo Switch Pro or upgraded Nintendo Switch console that is going to be in production now. I'm going to take a look at this news article and link it down below so you guys can read it for yourselves. It's kind of tuckered in there amidst an article about tariffs between the United States and China, you know, all that political stuff that we don't talk about here, but this had to be mentioned because it does talk about the Nintendo Switch's potential upgraded console model. So let's go ahead and get started reading this news article in today's videos, guys. So here we go, Wall Street Journal. It says Nintendo is shifting some production of its Switch video game console to Southeast Asia from China to limit the impact of possible US tariffs on Chinese-made electronics, said people who work on Nintendo's supply chain. So this is coming from people who actually are working in the supply chain, the people who are like producing the actual hardware over there in China. And because of the recent, you know, US tariff battle between China and the United States, a lot of companies like Apple and other electronic companies are actually moving over to other parts of Southeast Asia, and now Nintendo's confirming that they are moving. So this is kind of, you know, it just sounds like anything standard with any other electronics company out there. Nothing too more than meets the eye, right? Well, it says again, another example, Foxconn had to move out, Apple had to move out, and everything's going towards like Taiwan or Vietnam, so to speak. But, you know, traditionally in the past, Nintendo has relied on Chinese factories of, you know, to assemble these kind of machines and stuff. And it actually, the Switch was actually developed in China, but it says the Wall Street Journal reported in March that Nintendo planned to update the Switch this year with 2 new models, and I reported on this on a previous video a few months ago, talking about how the Wall Street Journal actually revealed that Nintendo was planning on them. One of them set to look like the current model with more beefed up components, like a Pro, like a Switch Pro, something that has upgraded capabilities, everything like that. And the other is to be a less expensive model with a new look. And the rumor is it's going to be a smaller, more portable only Nintendo Switch with like a clamshell covering, something that is just strictly portable, no removable Joy-Cons, something similar to a 3DS model. So they're recapping that. People involved in this supply chain said production in Southeast Asia has started for the Switch, including the current type and the 2 new models. Suggestion Nintendo is getting ready to introduce them soon. So they just moved over to Southeast Asia, and people that are actually involved in that supply chain are confirming that not only is the current model of the Nintendo Switch, you know, the current model being put into production, but that the new 2 rumored models, they said 2, are also being developed right now, produced as we speak. So that, you see how that was kind of tucked into this news article? That's really interesting. Now, they didn't really give any specifics, no volumes, no numbers of how much, but they said Nintendo wanted to have enough units to sell in the United States, which is the largest market for video game consoles when the new products go on the market. So this is interesting, especially since E3 just ended and there wasn't a reveal of an upcoming Switch model at all. Like, I'm wondering when exactly they are planning on dropping this big news, because E3 came and gone and it was strictly just software focused. Who knows if there was some kind of strategy behind Nintendo not revealing that there's 2 different models of a Nintendo Switch being made. It's going to be interesting. Maybe they'll reveal this come closer to the fall, maybe like August, September. Who knows by this point, but I do find it interesting that if it's already being produced, why didn't they already just announce it and make their E3 presentation just that much better? But then again, I don't work for a huge company like Nintendo. Now, a Nintendo spokesman declined to comment on possible new models. So they've been reached out by Wall Street Journal. Regarding production of the Switch, he said the console is now mostly made in China and that the company is always exploring options for where it assembles its products. So this is different than what Wall Street Journal is reporting. Maybe this is a little confidential for them, a little bit top secret. Who knows? You know, they just released their presentation. They revealed new Legend of Zelda, some Pokemon updates, Luigi's Mansion 3, Marvel Ultimate Alliance, a lot of games and everything, but again, we did not see any hardware updates. This holiday season is actually going to be very important for the Nintendo Switch to lock in some sales and stuff, so I don't know if maybe just not revealing a brand new model kind of goes into that, but they are planning to do something, obviously, with Project Scarlet coming out and the PS5 coming out within the next year, so it does seem that Nintendo needs to step it up a bit. Now, there is a rumor from analysts. They say they expect the new, less expensive model for the Nintendo Switch to sell for about $200, which is down from the $300 of the current thing to propel sales. So maybe making a new improved model, less expensive version that's $100 less than the current one might actually do that. This sounds very interesting. It's going to be honest to see if what happens out of this. Now, just to give you some numbers, according to this article, it says if Nintendo had to pay the 25% tariff, which basically has been increased from the United States last month on the $200 billion Chinese goods to 25% from 10%. So 10% tariff originally, now tariffs from China are 25%. It's likely covering video game consoles, smartphones, things like that. So this is why companies are pulling out. But listen to this. If they were to pay this 25% on imported consoles to the US, if they had to import their consoles, the Nintendo company might be forced to sell these consoles at a loss, which is obviously something the company wants to avoid. That is actually pretty interesting to see that, like when you look at economics and numbers and when money gets involved and taxes and stuff like that, to see just how crucial something as a 15% increase in tariffs can affect the video game industry. Obviously, the Nintendo Switch is selling like hotcakes. It's doing well. They've gained a lot of momentum through E3. And gearing up for something like 2 more new models is a huge business strategy, a development that is something that they obviously want to do good. So moving over production obviously is a key. I'm still trying to understand why it might be top secret at this point. I personally think they should have announced the new consoles, because I do know I have a few people in my Discord that are concerned about whether waiting to buy a Nintendo Switch or not, because they want to see if these new models are coming out. And so far, Nintendo themselves hasn't commented on it, which is usually a good sign. And they haven't revealed anything too much about, you know, potential upgrades and stuff. It's all been articles like Wall Street Journal and Japanese journal articles and stuff like that. So I do think that this is very reputable. Believe it or not, WSJ does get their stuff right sometimes. So it remains to be seen. Who knows? I'm thinking fall. There's like, would they really miss the holiday season by not having it announced yet? I think by August, September, we will hear something in regards, and maybe everything will be produced already and just ready to ship out to the United States. So guys, what do you guys personally think about this development? Do you think that this is actually fairly accurate? Are you looking forward to seeing what the new Switch models entail? What do you want from the new Nintendo Switch models? Comment down below. Again, if you are brand new, feel free to throw a subscription, and don't forget to click the little bell doohickey to get notified of when I post. Thanks a lot, guys, for watching. As always, I'll see you on the next one. Hey guys, what's up? It's 8-Bit Eric. This is a convention announcement. Yes, my next convention will be the Southeast Game Exchange in Greenville, South Carolina. Ric Flair country, my favorite pro wrestler. I absolutely cannot wait to come out and talk to you guys, meet you, and come out for my first time. I have not been to this convention ever, but this is in August. This is August 24th and August 25th. Again, at the Greenville Convention Center, and it's going to be the 4th annual Southeast Game Exchange. Now, there's going to be some other guests there besides me. Just to give you a clue of who will be there, You got me. You got the Game Chasers. Shady J will be in the house. You got Olivia Mears. You got Pixel Game Squad Riff. And you also have Generation Gap Gaming, and Your Player 2, Russ Lyman, NES Addict, JLove81, BP Retro Power. The list goes on and on and on. If you go to their website, check it out, southeastgameexchange.com. You can actually pre-order your tickets right now. I'm generally excited because it's not too often that I go to the East Coast for a convention, so it's a whole new avenue of people at a con that I've never met before. I will have t-shirts on hand if you want to pick them up and buy one. Sport yourself as part of the 8BE Nation. And yeah, guys, I'm looking forward to it. Again, Southeast Game Exchange. It will be August 24th and 25th at the Greenville Convention Center. So I will see you there, guys. Looking forward to it. Holy cow, guys. Just when I thought there was any more surprise announcements, they are going to be making a TurboGrafx Mini. Consider supporting 8-Bit Eric on Patreon for just $1 a month. Link below in the description.